Thursday morning, my brother Jeremy was here bright and early to get started working on Billy's Nova. We've got some work to do on the front frame rails to notch the frame rails for the tie rods. Originally, these cars had the steering mechanism behind the cross member, behind the front spindle. But Billy's car has been swapped over to a rack and pinion steering ahead of the spindle, and the tie rods will definitely be bent if the car should happen to come down hard. So Jeremy has to mouse hole the front frame rails, and instead of just leaving gaping holes in the frame, he wants to box these holes in to help give the frame back some rigidity and strength. While Jeremy's over on the other side of the shop working on that, Miss Vicky's working on shipping some orders out, and she had a run to the post office she needed me to make. And since I need to run the Malibu down to the truck stop to fill up the standalone with race gas, I decided I'd just tack that on to my trip to the post office. Plus, I'm still trying to run out the first 2 or 3 tanks of E85 out of this car to flush out what's left of the original pump gas that's still lingering in the fuel system. With each fresh tank of E85, I notice the car runs better and better and makes more and more power. Anyway, when I got to the post office, I dropped off my packages, picked up a box out of my post office box, and then I head down to the truck stop to fill up the standalone with race gas. Now, I've had a lot of people ask, am I going to put E85 in the standalone? And the answer to that is absolutely not. I've had much better luck and made much more power spraying with race gas than I ever had E85. The main reason I like using E85 in the carburetor is because it's cheap, it makes more power than pump gas, and the engine runs much cooler. So anyway, when I got back to the shop, I opened this box and I quickly realized this package is not for me. It's actually for Uncle Rob. So I call Robbie into the other side of the shop so he can take care of this package. And it just so happens someone sent him some wiring supplies, some tools, and some t-shirts, as well as some decals from the Carolinas. So after that, I jump back in the Malibu and head north, up through Utica, to go see Uncle Bob. If you remember, the other day I took a set of double hump heads up there to have him look at them, and then we realized that I've already got a set of Edelbrock aluminum heads up there that would work really well on the 327 I want to put in Mom and Dad's 55 Chevy. So Bob dug them out, set them up on the bench, and he figures they're going to work pretty good. He just needed to mill them and do a valve job first. Well, Uncle Bob called yesterday and told me they're ready to be picked up. And since I'm in the business of burning E85 up in this Malibu, I drove it up there to see him. When I got there, Bob was hard at work cleaning out a big block Chevy in the hot tank. There's no end to the amount of work that Bob's got stacked up there at that shop. Luckily, these heads that he did for me have been up there for almost a year. They were the heads that came on the built to the max small block. So how'd these heads turn out, Uncle Bob?
They turned out great. Valve jobbed them and cleaned them up, milled them, they would work. And actually, let's put those springs right back in there. They
Good.
shut up really good for your
Good.
hydraulic roller.
Right after I took that built to the max small block up there, Bob came down with COVID. He's had it twice. And since these heads haven't been a major concern for me, I haven't been worried about them. But now that I do need a set of heads for Mom and Dad's 55, Bob went ahead and worked them in for me in the schedule so we can get Mom and Dad's car back on the road. When I got back to the shop, I went ahead and unloaded those cylinder heads out of the trunk of the Malibu, and then I got busy tuning this carburetor. I wanted to make a little bit of a change to the low-speed air bleeds. It has a little bit of a rich condition at just off idle cruise. So I get out my air bleed kit and get to work, because I really want to get this thing dialed in pretty close before I take it down hopefully tomorrow night to Trails for their Friday night test and tune. So I make a couple changes to the carburetor and run it up and down the road a couple times, testing the thing out. While I'm working on that, Billy is working on installing a new breather tank in the trunk of his Nova and venting it out through the deck lid. He was just about done with that project about the same time I was done with my project. And then it was time to air the tires down and take the Malibu down on the OG test spot, just to make sure I've got this thing tuned in as best I can before I take it to Trails for their test and tune tomorrow night. The changes that I made to the idle air bleeds, the main jets, the pump cams, and the squirters on this carburetor have got this thing really crisp. And the night air feels really good. The car should make pretty decent power leaving on motor. So I set the controller up to let the car leave on motor, delay the nitrous hit 0.2 of a second, and then bring the nitrous in 1 second. This is the same exact tune-up that I had in the car when I was running 1150s the last time I was at Edgewater. The best pass being 1144. Once we had the burnout done, I bang it through the motor a few times to clear out the nitrous system and turn it loose. Unfortunately, it blew the tires clean off of it, so I back it up and we try it one more time. Hopefully this time, we can lower the launch RPM and get the car to hook, because I feel like it's going to make a really good lick if it doesn't knock the tires off. Unfortunately, it did hook a little bit better, but it also broke a spider gear in the differential. So I managed to limp the Malibu home last night, parked it in the driveway, and just said to heck with it. I went inside and hung out with Vicky the rest of the night and went to bed, get some sleep, so that we could get back up again today and get back on this Nova, because I really need to get the Nova off the lift before I can pull the Malibu in to even begin to repair the rear differential. Maybe with a little bit of luck, we can replace just one spider gear and put the thing right back together and race it tonight. I went ahead and fired the car up and backed up in the driveway, and it felt like there was nothing wrong until I turned the steering wheel, and then you could definitely feel it. At this point, there's absolutely no question I've got a broken spider gear, so I dig through my parts bin, and I don't think I've got enough parts to fix this thing with what I've got here at the house. So while Jeremy's finishing up working on the Nova, trying to get it off the lift, I call in for reinforcements. I call Jegs, and Uncle Terry just so happens to have another one of these Posi units in stock, so he drops it off on his way home from work tonight. I guess you could say this is one of the perks of having really good neighbors, not to mention a really good parts guy. Anyway, once Jeremy and Billy had the Nova pretty much finished up, Billy went ahead and put some fuel in the car, fired it up so he could back it outside so I could bring the Malibu in. At this point, I'm just praying that this thing isn't torn up so bad that we can't fix it for Saturday, because obviously I'm not going to make Friday night test and tune, but there's still a chance I can make it to trails for Saturday's bracket race with this thing, if it's not tore up too bad. So first things first, I go ahead and put it on the lift and start draining the gear oil out of it, while Vicky starts to get dinner ready and Billy works on his tune on his Nova out in the driveway. After dinner, Jeremy came back over to help me get this thing tore apart and see what the damage is, and see how much it's going to take to actually fix this thing. And unfortunately, it's going to take a little bit more than a couple spider gears. The entire carrier has been completely destroyed. But the good news is, the ring and pinion and the bearings are going to live to race another day. And since Uncle Terry dropped off a brand new carrier assembly, we're going to go ahead and pull the bearings off this carrier, bolt the ring gear to the new carrier, and try to get this thing put back together tomorrow. Huge shout out to Uncle Terry and everybody at Jegs, because if it wasn't for them, there would be no hope of getting this thing put back together for any racing this weekend. Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
Smooth move, dumbass.
You're smooth move. You're the one that assembled that thing.
Yeah, no. I believe you did the first one, and me and Billy looked at each other and was like, oh, glad it didn't hook And then you had to come back for another, didn't you? Now look at you. Busted. Was a Nimrod hunt, Jax.
So we're going to introduce Mr. Jax.
Yeah, this is Mr. Jax. He's very chill. He's a good shop dog.
He's a good boy.
He is the goodest boy. He's the goodest of all boys, actually.
I call him Action Jackson.
You don't like much action.
It was bring your dog to work day.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had
Wait,
as many dogs as we
is
had
this-
people.
What is happening?
It's going to rain tonight.
Is that safe?
Yes, it's safe.
I made sure the safeties are clicked.
I mean, as long as I'm not even gonna say it.
Oh my god. You guys have way more guts than I do.
It's okay. I'll just have to put a new roof
Oh,
on.
you know, just a $15,000 car above a $100,000 car.
Right, like, I think we have them in the wrong order. Oh my lord.
You don't leak oil, do you?
No. So, Uncle Bucolius, tomorrow you're going to try and put that new carrier in?
Yeah, I'll shuffle it in the middle of house stuff.
All right. So, Junior, are we going someplace tomorrow?
Yeah, we might be going to KD just to go watch.
Just to go
And,
watch. We're not racing. We're just going down to watch and
I
see
might pick
JB
up
Hall.
some steering arms from JB if he brings them out there. Yeah, so we might go out to KD just to get them steering arms and watch a little bit.
Okay. Well, sounds like I'll ride with you then if that's okay. And then
You know what that means?
what?
Neither one of you are going to break anything. Because you already broke it all. Numbnut.
All right. Miss Vicky has an announcement.
What are the prizes?
The prizes. Okay, for the month of June, anybody who has placed an order in the whole month of June, starting June 1st, clear to the end, for every $10 you've spent, your name gets in an entry for, drum roll. Tell them.
You tell them.
Well, you got to show them which one of those you picked.
Wait. I thought it was the sign.
The sign's the second prize. There's two prizes.
What?
Show them which sign over here.
I thought we agreed to sign.
Our awesome sign maker who keeps us stocked up in awesome signs. So that will be signed by all the crew, right? And that's the second prize. First prize is
What?
one of your toys.
No!
Yep, you pick.
Wait a minute. I didn't agree to this.
Come on, pick one.
What?
There's an abundance.
Don't go back to your junkyard.
No, this one up here is brand new. That one. That one's brand new. It's never been driven.
That white one?
Yeah, it's never been driven.
You snuck that in here. You've started another shelf back here I didn't even know you had.
Well, don't look, because there's some down there, and there's some down
Oh
there.
my gosh, you're grounded.
That one back there, the white one, I still have the box for up there.
Well, that seems like the perfect candidate then.
And that one people can still get parts for if they tear it up.
Right. So, there you go. Every $10 spent, and that includes the price of shipping and everything. Like if when you check out and your
Chimney
total
was steaming earlier.
is $42, then you get 4
You need to
entries.
get one of them little caps or I might make
That's
you
how it
one
works.
just like-
So, evidently, my wife decided that I am going to lose one of my trucks, and this truck up here on the shelf is a brand new Kyosho USA 1 8th scale monster truck with a big block nitro engine in it. It's a 3-speed transmission that shifts itself. It's brand new. It's out of the box. I put fuel in it, and I ran like 2 tanks of break-in fuel through it. It's never had batteries in it. It's never been run, never been driven.
It has never yet massacred my flower beds.
Well, I can make that happen before it goes away. So that's what we're going to do, I guess. One brand new monster truck and this brand new sign hanging in here on the wall,
Signed.
autographed. That's what we're going to give away for June. That's going to about do it for tonight, guys.
I have another announcement.
Wait, what?
So, Raggedy Ann has started a YouTube channel, and he just posted his first video.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, so CJ with Raggedy Ann just started a YouTube. Make sure you guys jump over there. It's Raggedy Ann Ohio Small Tires, the channel.
Raggedy Ann Ohio Small Tire. I'll have to go check it out.
Yep.
So I think his daughter is editing and helping him with that. Allie?
Yeah, he's got some help.
Yeah. So I'm going to have to go watch that right now. I got to see this. So if you guys didn't know, this whole street racing channel thing began with us going street racing for the first time ever with Billy's S10 one night. And the very first person we ever street raced for money was Mr. CJ Buckner. And evidently he and his family have started a YouTube channel, and they just raced us down there at No Prep Kings last Saturday night. I think, Billy, didn't you run him second round?
Yeah, second round.
Yeah. So the red and white Mustang they call Raggedy Ann, he's pretty well known here in Ohio. A little nitrous small block Ford. They just started a YouTube channel, so go check them out. So that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Maybe see you tomorrow. We're going to try and get this Malibu fixed tomorrow, and then maybe if Uncle Buckle...
What's this wee shit? You're taking off going to a race.
I'll stay here and help you then.
No. Take him with
I
you.
don't think the race is till later, right? Or is it?
Or you guys should leave early.
All right, well, me and Uncle Buckolius are going to try and get this Malibu fixed tomorrow. And then I possibly may get to take it to Trails on Sunday and race it down there. And at least I'll get some idea what this thing runs on motor. It seems as though it's a little bit more powerful.